England are under the pump. They have conceded a lead of 42 when they couldn't even get past 152. But does that stop their Barmy Army from disrespecting one of the game's greats? Because on day one, Bay 13 area in Melbourne, the Barmy Army were continuously booing Steve Smith. And on top of that, they were singing this one particular jingle, "We saw you cry on the tele," that infamous press conference that he did in 2018 following Sandpaper Gate in 2018 in South Africa. Smith has been constantly targeted ever since 2019 by the Barmy Army. And because of that, one of the former England captains in Michael Vaughan lambasted the Barmy Army because he mentioned, "I still cannot believe that there are England fans out there booing Steve Smith. I'm sorry, they are not cricket fans. They are not. If you consider the Barmy Army to be the ultimate fan group in cricket, you are sorely mistaken. Because if there is one fan base that is responsible for all the ills in cricket, it is the Barmy Army. Because selectively they will never look at their own England team when they have indulged in such naughty acts." And following on Michael Vaughan, David Warner also mentioned, well, David Warner was part of that infamous quartet that was involved in Sandpaper Gate. Darren Lehman was there, Steve Smith, Cameron Bancroft and David Warner. He echoed Michael Vaughan when he said, "Seem to be more English fans in Melbourne than in the other three tests. It is the big test." And he also said it was extraordinary. Imagine, you've come to Australia and suddenly you have decided that we will take on Steve Smith in Australia. England aren't winning on the field, neither they are winning off the field as well. Because Michael Vaughan, after you lost the Ashes, the ultimate brutal roast that has been given to the England management, which the England fans will never lap it up. Because he mentioned Noosa. Now that trip to Noosa is becoming like a noose to the England cricket team. Why is that? Because Michael Vaughan in his column in the Telegraph had mentioned, thing about Noosa is that it was booked a year ago. Now here is the clincher. But they did not book the WACA ground a year ago. England spurred the opportunity to practice and do well in the Ashes by not playing at the WACA. Beat that. Prior to the Adelaide Test match, they had played a combined of 6 days of test, but they had 14 days of holidays. Now, despite all of this, England are the one who are 3-0 down and won't win the Ashes for 2 more years. But despite that, the England fan base has decided to target Steve Smith. Now everybody, because we have a typical mentality, the Indian and the British mentality, colonialism went away 78 years ago. But it has not gone away from the Indian fan base also, because that's the same way how they behave. Look at it. Which country punished a player for 1 year? Australia, when the ball tampering incident happened. And who are England to cry the moral high ground? Because England have also done it in the past. Just ask Michael Atherton. Dirt in the pocket. Oh, for that, England and their fan bases are conveniently myopic and schizophrenic. They won't highlight that. But something which happened 7 years ago continues to rile them even now. Did England punish any of the perpetrators? No, they didn't. Has South Africa punished any of them? No. Du Plessis did it twice, but he was never punished. Did India punish any of the ball tamperers? Never. In fact, the media played the cheerleader and said, "How dare you touch our icon players?" Same with Pakistan, but to expect anything from Pakistan is next to impossible. But once again it shows, the Barmy Army, they claim to be the greatest fans in the world. They are a nobody. Because they don't respect cricket. They don't respect the sport itself. And because of some few rotten apples, that whole fan base will suffer. Anyway, England have to suffer for another 4-5 days until January 8th. But for once, in 2026, we hope that the Barmy Army and the England team stop being an embarrassment. Because the Barmy Army are truly an embarrassment to the sport. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this video. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis.